India, Wada Na Todo Abhiyan, and the Global Call to Action Against Poverty. We really welcome the bold narrative of the SG's report and the high-level panel report, which both talk of leave no one behind and a life of dignity for all. However, I think it's important to look at the current context of obscene inequality. And in this obscene inequality, there are two narratives that we see. One is a narrative of anger, people's anger, and on the other hand, you also have a narrative of people's aspirations and hope. In this, I think we need to set the bar much higher, and we need to look at the structural causes of poverty and not only manifestations of poverty. So we probably need a new paradigm which is really looking at justice as its primary principle. Just to very quickly flag 4 or 5 key principles. It would be absolutely central to look at the socially excluded as the central element of the entire new design, particularly the Dalits, the indigenous people, disabled, aged, minorities, with a human rights perspective. The second is the principle of gender justice. And here I would like to emphasize that we need to look at, in the MDGs, we looked at the public sphere, but we need to also look at the private sphere, particularly sexual and reproductive rights. The third, just to move from the environmental sustainability discourse to environmental justice. I think Mahatma Gandhi once said that we have enough for everybody's need, but not for everybody's greed. So the idea of justice. Another idea which comes particularly from the southern perspective is people's rights over land, water, and forest. Most of their livelihoods depend on these natural resources, and that needs to be recognized in the current climate where it's often getting alienated. The final point is just and accountable governance. And this should be at the national level, at the global governance institutions, importantly also of the global trade, aid, and financial architecture. Just a few seconds more in terms of the path ahead. It's absolutely crucial that we look at the centrality of the state in any framework that we're looking at. It's important to talk of partnerships with the private sector, but the central responsibility has to be of the state. You also need to develop process indicators. It was great to have indicators in the MDG framework, process indicators. For instance, if WHO says 5% of the GDP should be on health, then I think we need to work with that. And finally, to acknowledge the process that's happened in the last 1.5 years, which has been very inclusive, we think that it would be very important to build a process of people's mobilization to ensure the new paradigm. Thank you.